Did you know that every word you speak is like a spell cast into the universe? Although it may seem insignificant, what you say today is silently shaping the reality you will experience tomorrow. In this video, you'll discover how your words not only describe your life, they create it, and how you can use this power to attract everything you've ever dreamed of. Stay, because what you learn here could change everything. Words, far from being simple sounds that we emit when communicating, are powerful tools that build the fabric of our existence. Every time we speak, we send a vibration into the universe that interacts with the ether, that omnipresent energy field that connects everything that exists. It is a concept that ancient spiritual traditions knew well. Words do not disappear when spoken, but rather leave an energetic trail that resonates and eventually returns to us. However, in everyday life, it is easy to forget this truth. Most people speak without thinking, letting momentary emotions guide their speech. This negligence lies at the root of many frustrations, since our words not only communicate our ideas but also create realities, often unconsciously. What we say is a direct reflection of our internal state, acting as a mirror that reveals our deepest beliefs. If someone constantly repeats phrases of lack like, "I never have enough," or "this is too hard," they are not only describing their current reality, but they are also sowing the seeds of a similar future. These words, imbued with emotion, send a clear message to the subconscious, which operates as a loyal servant willing to manifest whatever we command, whether positive or negative. In other words, language is the bridge between our internal mind and the external world. Without a conscious intention behind our words, we risk perpetuating states of suffering that we could transform with a change in our speech. Thinkers like Neville Goddard teach us that we do not manifest what we desire, but what we essentially are. The words we choose are a window to our inner identity, and at the same time a tool to transform it. This means that even if our current circumstances are adverse, we can use language to reprogram our beliefs and emotions, initiating real change from within. Speaking in terms of gratitude, abundance, and possibility is not just an exercise in optimism. It is a deliberate act of creation. Each phrase we speak with conviction establishes a vibrational pattern that, over time, becomes a tangible experience. Recognizing the power of our words is taking the first step towards a life more aligned with our deepest desires. Speaking with intention means consciously choosing words that empower us, avows, and those that limit us. This change does not require immediate perfection. They're a constant practice of observing and redirecting our speech towards what we really want to manifest. By doing so, we not only transform our reality, but we also inspire those around us to use their voice as a tool for positive change. Change.ea. That words have a lasting impact on the ether may seem abstract, but it is actually a fundamental principle that explains how we interact with the universe. Each word we speak emits a specific frequency, similar to a radio wave that travels through space until it finds a receiver. This receptor is none other than the ether itself, an invisible but palpable field that stores and reflects our energy. The ether does not distinguish between words spoken in jest, anger, or anger. It simply records the vibration they carry with them and returns it to our lives as a corresponding experience. Therefore, speaking is not a trivial act, but act assess that continually shapes our existence. Say things like, "I can't do this," or "this always goes wrong for me." We are sending a clear message to the universe. Our identity is defined by inability or failure. These statements, although they may seem harmless, become orders that the subconscious takes literally, since this part of our mind lacks the ability to judge. This is where the transformative power of our words lies. Changing the way we talk does not mean denying our struggles, but rather choosing a narrative that reinforces our ability to overcome them. For example, instead of saying MP Thisbal, we can opt for "I'm Lee for"ing to overcome this challenge, which sends a signal into the ether of progress rather than stagnation. IPL has a solid spiritual basis, but it can also be observed in our daily experience. People who constantly talk about success and possibility tend to attract circumstances that allow them to move forward, while those who focus on difficulties encounter more obstacles. This is not magic, but the result of a mental and energetic process that aligns our actions with our words. When we repeat positive affirmations with conviction, we begin to program our minds to recognize opportunities rather than problems, and this attitude is reflected in the world around us, adopting us. This language not only transforms our relationship with ourselves, but others. When we speak from a place of abundance and gratitude, our interactions become more meaningful and our relationships more harmonious. This change in the frequency of our words has a cumulative impact, as the ether acts as a mirror that reflects back what we emit. In the end, what we say not only affects our immediate reality, but all reality imputes to the collective fabric of energy and consciousness that we share with the entire world. The subquirl.'s mind is like fertile soil that accepts without question the seeds we sow in it, whether positive or negative words. While our conscious mind evaluates, filters, and anal filters, his subconscious acts as a passive receiver that welcomes everything we send it as immutable truth. It does not distinguish between what is good or bad, but rather takes every word, thought, and emotion as an instruction to manifest in the physical world. Therefore, our words are more than expressions. The expressions, they shape our perception, our emotions and eulomotions, our experiences. Experiences omit the impact of constantly repeating phrases like, "I'm a disaster," or "I'm good for nothing." Although said in a tone of jest or momentary frustration, these statements register in the subconscious and begin to act as self-imposed prophecies. Every time we define ourselves in a negative way, we reinforce a pattern that can become a real obstacle in our lives. On the contrary, when we adopt conscious, positive language, we give the subconscious a new direction, allowing it to create realities that reflect our aspirations rather than our fears. The power fears. Subconscious is so profound that many consider it the engine of our automatic actions and our most deeply held beliefs. According to Joseph Murphy, author of The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, as you sow in your subconscious, so will you reap in your body and your environment. This means that the words we choose not only affect our emotional state, but also have state-to-act impact on our health, our relationships, and our opportunities. Speaking with awareness is not a simple mental exercise. It is a practical toit to transform every aspect of our lives. To harness Clive's down R of your subconscious, you must be more than a passive spectator of your thoughts and words. You must become an intentional architect, carefully choosing the messages you decide to engrave in this deep part of your mind. Every word you say is a seed, and every emotion that accompanies it acts like the water that nourishes its growth. By replacing statements of doubt with statements of certainty, you are cultivating a mental garden that will bloom with abundance, love, and success. If you believe success, or words and the universe can transform your reality, write in the comments, "I believe in the power of my words." This simple act is the first step in declaring to the world who you are and what you are creating. Do it now and start co-creating your new reality. Words have aeriality, duality. They always find their way back to whoever spoke them. This boomerang effect is one of the clearest universal laws in action, and yet it is also one of the most ignored. Every time we speak, we are sending a vibration out into the universe that eventually returns, bringing with it the same emotions and meanings that we imbued into it. If our words are loaded with complaints, anger, or hopelessness, thanga, aim emotions will return to our lives, reinforcing the negative patterns we are trying to overcome. This principle overcome mighted to the words we say out loud. It also includes our internal dialogue, that constant flow of thoughts that often goes unnoticed. While the subconscious records everything, words spoken with greater emotional intensity have a quicker and more lasting impact. For example, if you repeatedly say, "I'm never lucky," you say, programming your mind and environment to confirm this. Over time, this statement becomes a reality so evident that it seems impossible to change, when in reality, it is the result of a habit of thought and word. Neville Goddard explored T clearly. We do not attract what we desire, but what we are. The words we use reflect our internal state, and it is that internal state that acts as a magnet for life's experiences. If we want to change what we are attracting, we must change what we are emitting. It is not enough to avoid negative speech. We must replace those words, WWE statements, that reinforce what we want to manifest. Instead of saying, "I hate my job," weak are saying, I'm on my way to finding, say, me thing I'm passionate about. This subtle but powerful shift alters not only our energy, but also our actions' energy-ceptions. The boomerang epiceptions is a lesson we all learn sooner or later. People who use their language to build rather than destroy experience a remarkable transformation, not because life is kinder to them, but because they have learned to be kinder to themselves. Speaking with love, gratitude, and hope not only improves our relationships with others, but also puts us in a position of power to create a life we truly love. The law of assumption Reeve love. Fundamental principle. To manifest any desire, we must first assume in our minds that we have already achieved it. This concept goes beyond the simple act of wanting something, invites us to identify something, it reality we wish to experience. Our words, thoughts, and emotions play a key thoughts, this process, because the universe reprocess it to our requests, but to the energy we pre-quest, some our inner state. Thus, what we are in essence becomes the magnet that attracts our experiences. When we assume the experiences possess what we want, our subconscious mind begins to adjust our beliefs and behaviors to align them with that new reality. This process is not instantaneous, but with consistency, it becomes an unstoppable consistency of transformation. The words we choose in our daily lives act as decrees that reinforce our internal assumptions.
For example, changing "someday I will be successful" to "I am successful and I prove it every day successful," or like a minor detail, but it sets a powerful vibration that the universe cannot ignore. The law of the assumption ignore, just about uttering affirmations. It also requires an emotional commitment. Feeling that what is desired is already a reality activates a profound change in our perception and our actions.
By living with gratitude for what has not yet manifested, we create a vibrational bridge that connects our present with the future we imagine. This state of certainty is reflected in our words, which cease to be a vehicle for complaints or doubts and become a tool of conscious creation. By practicing the law of creation, we discover that we do not need to wait for external circumstances to change to feel fulfilled. On the contrary, by assuming an identity aligned with our desires, we become the cause and not the effect of our reality. Every word we speak from this perspective becomes an act of power, an affirmation of our ability to shape the world around us according to our deepest aspirations. In everyday language, human aspirations dot well to connect, relieve tension, and bring joy to our lives. How tension? Here is a dark side to jokes, especially those that are self-deprecating or laden with negativity. Although said in a tone of mockery or sarcasm, these words do not go unnoticed by our subconscious mind, which registers everything we say as literal truth. The phrase "I'm a mess" may seem harmless in small talk, but when repeated constantly, it begins to act as a silent decree that shapes our perception and actions. The subconscious does not disactions between what we say seriously and what we say jokingly. Just listen to the words and respond to the emotion that accompanies them. Thus, a recurring joke about our supposed inability to achieve goals can take root as a limiting belief. Similarly, negative jokes directed toward other people also have consequences. Not only do they reinforce toxic patterns in our relationships, but they also fuel a vibration of discord that eventually reflects in our own lives. Humor can be a powerful tool, but only when used consciously and constructively. Choosing humorous language constructively, rather than depresses, does not mean losing the ability to laugh at ourselves. On the contrary, it involves cultivating a humor that allows us to view our imperfections from a place of acceptance and self-compassion, rather than self-criticism. By replacing self-defeating jokes with positive affirmations disguised as humor, we can use our words to create a lasting impact that strengthens our self-esteem and fosters healthier relationships. This change in our way of relationships only transforms how we perceive ourselves, but also how others perceive us. Ourselves a mood that radiates confidence, self-love, and joy. We send a vibration into the ether that resonates with people and circumstances aligned with that energy. Ultimately, our words, even those we use for fun, are a reflection of our essence and have the power to build or destroy. By choosing conscious jokes, we turn humor into a tool of creation rather than destruction. Speaking from abundance does nodestruction.ng life's difficulties, but rather adopting an approach that celebrates what we already have and makes room to receive more. Gratitude is one of the most powerful emotions we can experience, and when translated into words, it has the potential to transform our reality. Every time we say thank you, we are not only acknowledging a gift received, we are also generating a vibration that attracts more reasons to be grateful. This principle becomes a virtuous circle. The more we are grateful, the more good things come into our lives. The language of abundance goes beyond our lives. It requires a genuine connection to the emotion behind them. Saying, "I am rich," while feeling frustrated by you saying, "Ensirish," chances will not have the desired impact. Instead, practicing gratitude for small blessings, like a satisfying meal or pleasant conversation, creates an internal state of wholeness that is eventually reflected in the external world. Speaking from abundance is, in essence, an act of faith that the universe always provides what is necessary. Taking this approach not only transfers necessary relationship with ourselves, but also with others. When we speak from ourselves ISF gratitude, our interactions become more harmonious, and our words have a more positive impact harmonious around us. Additionally, this practice helps us redirect our attention from what is missing to what is already present, allowing us to live with more joy and less stress. By integrating the language of gratitude daily lives, we discover that we don't have to wait for big events to feel grateful. Every moment offers an opportunity to recognize the abundance that already exists. Over time, this habit not only changes our perception of the present, but also establishes a solid foundation for a fuller and more satisfying future. The words we speak are a direct window to our future. Every sentence that comes out of our mouths reflects our deepest beliefs, emotions, and mental states. When we listen to someone speak, we can learn a lot about their inner world, their fears, their dreams, their confidence, or their hopelessness. Likewise, our own confidence, aspects of ourselves that we sometimes overlook, acting as a mirror that returns our most intimate truth to us. If we observe our daily speech, we can notice patterns that give us clues about our emotional and mental state. Constant complaining, for example, is a symptom of internal dissatisfaction that needs to be addressed. On the other hand, words of encouragement and gratitude reflect a heart at peace with itself. This process of self-observation is not about judging ourselves, but about becoming aware of how our language ourselves, our reality. Once we identify negative patterns, we can begin to replace them with words that reflect the state we want to achieve. The connection between our words and our inner achieve, not one way. Just as our emotions shape our language, our words can also influence how we feel. Repeating positive affirmations like, "I am enough," or "I am at peace," may seem uncomfortable at first, but over time, these statements begin to shape our perception and identity. By talking about ourselves with love and respect, we are sending a clear message to the subconscious. We deserve a full and satisfying life. In the end, our words are not only a reflection of a being, but also a tool to transform it. By choosing language beings aligned with our values and aspirations, we give ourselves permission to become the best version of ourselves. This process doesn't happen overnight, but with every word we speak from a place of authenticity and love, we are building a path to a richer, more meaningful existence. Mantras, those powerful phrases that we repeat with existence, are one of the most effective ways to use our words to transform our reality. It's not just about repeating random words, but selecting those that resonate with our deepest aspirations and saying them with genuine emotion. Each mantra is a constant reminder of who we are and what we want to be, an anchor that connects us to our purpose, even in the midst of uncertainty. The magic of mantras lies in their ability to reap uncertainty, be conscious mind. By repeating affirmations such as, "I am abundance," "Peace lives in me," or "I deserve true love," we are abundance. Peacey fertile me, ill of our minds that love, time, will bear fruit in our daily lives. The key is to combine the words with an authentic emotion, since the subconscious responds more to feelings than to the words themselves. Incorporating mantras into our daily routine does not themselves implicated rituals. They can be spoken out loud upon waking, repeated silently during meditation, or written in a journal as an affirmation exercise. The important thing is the consistency and intention behind each word. Over time, these simple practices begin to create a tangible change in our perspective and our external reality. Mantras are not just words. They are creation tools. Ever reality. Say a mantra. We are sending a thanal to the universe of who we are and what we are willing to receive. By using them consciously, we can transform our lives into a work of art, shaped by the magic of our own words.